Hey y'all, it's Melissa from The Little for the Kid. Welcome to my channel. I am a homeschooling mom to 3, and most of what you find on my channel is homeschool content, although I do throw other things in there as well. Today is one of those different videos. I'm actually going to be talking about the allergy life a little bit today, which is really why my channel was born. Although I don't put a lot of allergy content on my channel because people just don't watch it. If I'm being honest, but it is still something that is very important to me. And so I intend to still put up some content that I feel might be helpful to you, even if you're not an allergy parent. And I think it's super, super important. And so that being said, today I'm going to share my 5 best tips for the new allergy mama. So if you have a child that was newly diagnosed with food allergies and you're feeling super overwhelmed, then hopefully this video will encourage you and help you just a little bit. So stick around. So if you don't know, you're new here, my youngest son, Ford, whom the channel was named for and started for, has a super long list of food allergies. He got sick right away after he was born, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And a very long story made much shorter, we saw doctors all over the country to try to help us with his symptoms and all the things that were going on with him, without much luck. And I finally turned to more crunchy ways and was able to get him much better. But we still do deal with food allergies, and 1 in 13 kids has food allergies. It's an epidemic. There's a lot of kids, a lot of people that are affected, adults too, of course, but they tend to be more prominent in children and teenagers. So what I wanted to do today is share my 5 tips for you if you're a new allergy mom, because if I'm being honest, when we first found out that that was a big part of what was wrong with Ford, I felt so overwhelmed and so burdened, and I felt like I couldn't do it, and there just wasn't a lot of information or support out there for me. And of course, that's been over 7 years ago now. But I hate to say it, a lot of that hasn't changed. There's still not, in my opinion, nearly enough resources out there for people who have a child that's newly diagnosed with a food allergy to help them figure it out. And so I just wanted to throw out some things that I wish somebody had told me that day when I found out that that's what I was living with, a child with severe food allergies. So that's what we're going to do. You ready? Number 1, find community. It's so important. One of my very best friends, Heather, I met through the allergy community, and we just happened to be local to each other. And we became really good friends through social media because of our sons are so similar in what they're allergic to and their other medical issues, and not everything, of course, but a lot. And so we were really good. We became really good friends just on social media before we had ever met each other in person. And of course now we're friends in real life too, because we were local to each other, and we're in the same co-op now, and we're in business together, and so she's one of my best friends now. But I can't tell you, and I know she would tell you the same thing, how important community is. And so find the people that understand what it is that you're living with, and find them, whether that be a local allergy community, online, whatever you can find, wherever you can find them. Find people who know what it's like to live with food allergies, because there's so much misinformation out there. There's so much misunderstanding out there about food allergies, and it is so helpful and so necessary, in my opinion, to have people in your life, even if it's just on social media, even if you're never meet in person. It makes a world of difference to have a community of people who understand what you're going through in your life. So definitely find your community. That's my number 1 biggest tip. Number 2, make sure you have an action plan. Okay, so I can remember when we first figured out that Ford was anaphylactic to things. And I knew what that was. And I like knew what an Epi Pen was. And I knew if he has an allergic reaction, you give him his Epi Pen. But that was it. That was really all I knew. And you need to be prepared for if and when that anaphylactic reaction happens. And it's not as simple as, oh, I think he's having a reaction, pop in with the Epi Pen. You need to know what to look for in your child. You need to know which of those things you're looking for constitutes an Epi Pen use, and what you need to do if you Epi Pen. All of those things are important. And let me tell you, our allergist at the time when we first got diagnosed didn't tell me any of this. And as many allergy families as I know now, because I am so active in the allergy community, I hear the same story over and over and over and over. Well, they just give me this prescription and that's all. I don't know. They didn't tell me what to do. They didn't tell me when to use it. They didn't tell me how to use it. They didn't tell me. I mean, people are clueless. We have these allergists, no offense to allergists, but many of them send you home with a prescription for an Epi Pen and that's it. They don't tell you what to do or how to do it or when to do it. And so you need to have an action plan ready. You need to know it by heart so that you can share it anytime your child is at school or church or not with you or has a babysitter or whatever. You need to know it well enough that you have it memorized and can handle it when it's you that's caring for your child when they have a reaction, and you need to know it well enough that you can tell others confidently how to support your child if they have an anaphylactic reaction. So my best advice for you to know what to do and when to do it and how to do it is to go to FAIR's website, and they have a printable action plan that is amazing. Now, it's not going to tell you everything. You're going to need to take that printable action plan, print it out, take it to your allergist, and discuss it with your allergist and say, I need you to step by step tell me which of these things I need to do, what I need to do, how I need to do it, blah, blah, blah. And they will then help you through that. You might be able to print it out and know automatically what the answers are for you and your child and fill out that information. Otherwise, if you don't know, if you look at that printable and you're unsure, then definitely take it to your allergist and they can help you. I will put a link in the description box below for that action plan printable so that you can see it and print it and make sure you have one posted. I have one in my house. I take one to any caregiver that's ever going to take care of Ford. So our co-op has one. Our children's ministry at church has one. Anytime I leave him with somebody, anybody at all, my mom has one. Babysitters have one. Friends have them for when he goes to friends' houses. Like, do not feel like it is overkill for you to hand one of those to somebody who's going to be taking care of your child. You need to know it, they need to know it. It could save your child's life. So definitely check out the printable below. If you are not an allergy parent, but you're watching this video to get some information because maybe you know an allergy child, newsflash, you do. 1 in 13 kids has a food allergy. First of all, thank you for continuing to watch this video, even if you don't have an allergic child, because you need to know this information too, because I guarantee you have a food allergy kid in your life. I promise you do. At least one, probably more than one. So even if you aren't an allergy parent, definitely check out that printable because it will help you understand what an anaphylactic reaction can look like, the different symptoms, and what each one means and how many of them together happening mean, all of that. It will really give you some good insight about what anaphylaxis is and what to look for. That way, if you're ever in a situation where you're around a bunch of kids and somebody starts to have a reaction, you'll be familiar with the symptoms and you'll be able to point it out right away and maybe the difference between life or death for that child. So definitely check that out. It's in the description box below. Definitely have an action plan. Number 3, allergy awareness. So obviously people need to know that your child is allergic to something, and they need to know what your child is allergic to. So for sure, invest in some things that help identify your child's food allergies for you. Bag tags, stickers, medical alert bracelets specifically for allergies, Epi Pen cases. There's all kinds of cool stuff out there now available to you to purchase to make sure that everyone is aware that your child has a severe food allergy. This is especially important, if think about if you're in a car accident sometime and you're unconscious or something and you can't tell anybody, hey, don't give them this medicine because they're allergic to this, or, whatever the case may be, and you can't speak for your child, and your child may not be old enough to speak for themselves. You want people to know, hey, my kid has a food allergy. So make sure that you're looking into some of these cool products that are available to help identify your child's food allergies to people who otherwise may not know. I'll show you a couple of my favorites. Well, I can't find his bracelet. He just outgrew his bracelet that he had, and so I need to actually order him another one. Mom failed there. I should have ordered it a long time before he outgrew it, a new one, and I can't find the old one. But if you search for it, you can find a million, and I will put a link below for the one that we do have that I'm probably going to order something similar to. And then I want to show you this. So this is one of our Epi Pen cases. It has his name on it. It has this clip, so like we can clip on to, whatever, a bag, a belt loop, whatever. It fits 2 Epi Pens in it. As you know, you should know if you're an allergy mom, you should always have at least 2 Epi Pens with you at all times. And then on the inside, I'm going to cover up my phone number because I don't particularly want that blasted all over YouTube, but this is the first one I bought him, and actually he's had more allergies develop since this, but this still covers the big ones, and so it lets people know, like, my phone number, call 911, use the Epi Pen, here's what he's allergic to. Although, like I said, he's allergic to more than that now. This is from an Etsy shop. I will link it below. I've actually ordered more than one of these from her. You can choose your fabric. She has lots of different fabric to choose from. You can choose what you want on the outside and on the inside. You can choose if you want a D clip or a D ring or a clip. Anyway, I love her stuff. I love her Epi cases. I think I failed to mention that you can't see it because it's covered in fabric, but it's insulated, which is really nice because if you know anything about Epi Pens, they can't get too hot or too cold, or the epinephrine doesn't work anymore. So anyway, that's the number 3 tip. Definitely make sure you have things that help your allergy could be identified. So I have a lunchbox tag on his lunchbox for when we take it places. He has a bag tag on his book bag when he takes that places. And then of course we have the Epi Pen cases and the allergy bracelet. And so we, we make sure that people are aware when they look at his bag or lunchbox or him or his person that they know about his food allergies. Super important. Okay, number 4, become a label reading expert. This is one of my least favorite things about being an allergy parent. I'm not gonna lie. So you would think that would be not a big deal, right? Because, oh, he's allergic to eggs, so just look for egg on the label. Oh, he's allergic to flax, just look for flax on the label. Oh, he's allergic, to XYZ, just look for XYZ on the label. But it's not quite that simple. So we do have some food allergy labeling laws in place, which are helpful, but they are not the be-all end-all. And there is nothing to stop a company from changing their recipe without any sort of notice, warning, product label change, anything. So you can never assume as an allergy parent that just because you bought this exact brand of this exact product last time at the grocery store and you read the label and it was safe, you cannot assume that this week when you go to the grocery store and you pick up that same exact item, you cannot assume that it is safe because it was safe last week. They can change it at any moment, and they do not have to tell you, and they do not have to put it on the label that there's an ingredient change, nothing. So there's no way for you to know that a product is still safe for your child unless you turn it over and you read the ingredients. So I like to tell people that I'm a professional label reader because when I go to the grocery store, I literally read labels 3 times. The same label on each product. I read it 3 times. When I pick it up off the shelf, before I put it in my basket, I read the label. Is it safe? Am I sure? Yes, it is. I put it in my bag, my buggy. When I get to the checkout counter, when I pull every single item out of my cart, before I put it on the conveyor belt to pay for it, I read that label a second time. Am I sure that I didn't miss anything the first time and this is really safe? Yes, it is. I put it away. Or I put it on the conveyor belt. Check out. When I get it home and I take it out of the bag, before I put it away in the pantry or in the cabinet or in the fridge or wherever it goes, freezer, I read that label a 3rd time to make sure that I didn't miss anything. We also make sure that anytime we use a product, even if it's been in the fridge for a minute or the pantry for a minute, before we give it to him, guess what we do? We read it again. That helps us all, everybody in the house, because sometimes my teenagers fix him something and they weren't the ones to go to the grocery store and buy it. You know, sometimes my husband fixes him something. He wasn't the one that went to the grocery store and bought it and read the label 3 times before it got put away. So I have taught my entire family, before you get anything to Ford, and Ford knows this too, read the label over and over and over, make sure. So definitely become a label reading expert. On that same note, some things have tricky names and they're not named something that has the well-known name of the allergen in the name. Like there can sometimes be hidden allergens and things that aren't marked. They're marked, but they're not marked in the way that you think they would be marked. So that can be frustrating too. So definitely learn what all the names for all the things are, because you don't want to be fooled by something thinking it's safe when it's really not, just because they called it something different than what you call it. Also, there's a great website called snacksafely.com, and I will link that below as well. And it is a great help if you're feeling super, super overwhelmed and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to go buy my kid now to eat because he's allergic to everything, or she is allergic to so many things, I don't even know where to begin. If you're feeling totally overwhelmed about what might be safe and what isn't, definitely check out snacksafely.com. It will be a big help to you. But definitely become a professional label reader. Okay, finally, number 5, give yourself grace. Anxiety is okay. Overwhelm is okay. This is a huge learning curve. And guess what? It doesn't end ever. The learning curve doesn't ever end. You never succeed at like learning everything there is to know about being an allergy parent. You never do. You won't. Never. I'm 7 years in, a little over 7 years in, and I still don't. So you know what? It's okay if you feel overwhelmed. It's okay if you feel anxious. It's okay if you feel nervous. It's okay. It's all okay. It's okay if you mess up. Y'all, one time, I gave my kid an allergen, a known allergen, when I knew he was anaphylactic to. I gave it to him. He drank it. He was little. I trusted my doctor who knew his allergens. She gave this sample of this Pediasure drink to me for him. I didn't read the label because I trusted her that she knew his allergies, and she said, here, try this and see if he likes it. So I assumed she knew there weren't any allergens in it. Well, I assumed incorrectly and fed my child his allergen, and it was not good at all. Anaphylaxis, hospital emergency room, bad news, terrible, terrible. I did it to him. His mama gave him his own allergen. And for a long time, I had so much guilt about that, but I have realized that this learning curve never ends. It gets a little smaller, maybe, as you go and you figure things out a little bit, but it never ends. So you have to give yourself grace. And really, to me, that takes us back to number one, which is find your community. You have to have people who know and understand. So if you're a new allergy mom, I hope that this video has encouraged you and given you some helpful tips and helpful resources. If you are and you haven't found your community, please comment below. I will love to be part of your community. I am on Instagram at the Little Four That Could, as well as right here on this YouTube channel. And I would absolutely love to be part of your community. I can introduce you to some more mamas in the allergy community and dads. So definitely comment below, because I'd love to get to know you and to help you. And hey, maybe you can help me too. Like I said, the learning curve never ends. So I'm still learning too. And I'm sure you have things that you could share with me that I don't know yet either. So definitely check out those resources that I posted in the description box below. If you have any questions, feel free to post those in the comments. I'm happy to answer as many questions as I can. And thanks for watching. I hope that this has given you a little confidence boost about being able to handle your child's food allergies. And if you're not an allergy parent and you made it the whole way through this video, I cannot tell you how grateful I am, and other allergy mamas and kids and daddies and families in the world are so grateful for you watching this video, because that means that you care and you want to be part of our community that helps keep these kids safe. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.